I know we've got real problems, but why is it that we have the cringiest version of a would-be dictator? Like, have you seen the photos from the war room for the Venezuela operation? I just can't. Looking at them, I just keep thinking of Jamel Bouie and the way that he describes this regime as cargo cult fascism. It's this kind of like flimsy, artificial, gaudy, paper tiger version of what an autocrat actually is. If they go through certain rituals, if they carry out a kind of like reality TV performance, we're all going to believe that they're actually big, powerful men who have a mandate from the people to rule in this fashion. It's just so, oh God, it's not even like the Epcot version versus international travel. It's like Las Vegas Riviera versus the actual Riviera. That's Trump to Putin, right? It's just, oh God, it's so embarrassing, these pictures from the war room. And we know that Donald Trump is like a deeply insecure man, and we also know that he has no taste whatsoever. All of the gaudy garishness where he has to like gold plate everything, the way that he has remodeled several parts of the White House to just be like gross. It's not even giving nouveau riche. It's just giving conspicuous consumption in a way that has no taste, no class whatsoever. Sure, they spent a lot of money on it, but it's really fucking ugly. Donald Trump is always about trying to bluster and look big and powerful because it's absolutely a cope, because he's deeply insecure. He's not powerful. He's not well liked. Right? That totally sums up both Donald Trump and the regime trying to buy their way to legitimacy. Buying it through pardons, buying it through graft, corruption, buying it through these overt displays of like kind of garish opulence. But it's just so Las Vegas, classless, cheap. It's cheap. How you can spend so much money and look so fucking cheap. That's what I thought when I was looking at these war room photos. Right? He's clearly trying to copy Barack Obama's 2011 iconic Situation Room photos. He wants to be like that. He wants to be beloved like that because narcissists are desperate to be beloved. But it's just like such a poor facsimile. It's a really pathetic attempt. It is, as Jamel describes it, cargo cult fascism, a cheap copy with none of the substance behind it. Right? This is a kakistocracy. These guys are the least competent, the least qualified, and the most inept, but they're desperate to appear legitimate. They want to be seen as legitimate and as beloved as Barack Obama, and they can't replicate it because there's there's no substance. There's no sophistication. There's no competence. There's no capability at all. It's just brute force and a shoddy slapdash approximation of what they think equals power, because they're not intelligent enough, they're not sophisticated enough to understand what it actually takes to govern in a competent way. They're not interested in governing in a competent way. They just want like a reality TV version of a functional United States government. What Donald Trump thinks equals big and powerful looks so pathetic and just like cringy as fuck to the rest of us. They're trying to look like big bad men, but they have a room with like some black shower curtains hung up and like a screen where they went on Twitter and just typed Venezuela into the search bar, and like Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, they thought that this was going to be a set of images that projected power and competence and sophistication, but they immediately got trolled all over Twitter. One user said, during the Osama operation, Obama's war room became iconic. Trying to copy that moment, Trump forgot one thing: you don't open Twitter in a war room. The entire rollout failed. Another Twitter user said, Trump tried to recreate the bin Laden raid moment, but instead of a secure situation room, it's a makeshift skiff at Mar-a-Lago with gold hotel chairs, folding tables, transparent curtains, and a Twitter feed on the screen behind him. Obama took down a terrorist. Trump staged a photo op. The contrast says it all. Another captioned the photos "war room activities," and it's just scrolling Twitter. Another said Obama versus Trump in the Situation Room won't find a starker example of pro versus amateur hour. Back in June, Pete Sousa, who was Donald Trump's photographer, was interviewed on a podcast called Talking Politics, and he made some interesting observations about the way that this current Trump regime is being documented in photographs. He said the photographs from the current administration regime look like they're from the set of a reality TV show. You don't get any real sense of Trump's actual humanity. Does he have any? How he relates to people. It's all, let's bring in the press corps for an entire meeting, and he's just playing to the cameras. Sousa also said there's not a single picture of Trump meeting with his national security team in the actual Situation Room. There's not a single picture of him on the phone with Vladimir Putin, who we are essentially at war against in Ukraine. Why is that? Are these photographs not being taken, or is the White House just refusing to post them? What we see are these cargo cult fascist photographs, this kind of fake posturing, these black shower curtains and broadcasts of Twitter feeds, and we're supposed to believe that this is legitimate intelligence briefing. We're supposed to believe that this is a legitimate military operation that's taking place. Like, what kind of fools do they take us for? Like, it's just so fucking embarrassing that they expect us to believe that this is legitimate, that they are broadcasting these images to the rest of the world, and they're supposed to look big and threatening and intimidating, and like they're a bunch of boss-ass bitches who know how to run the United States government. It's just so, like I said, we have the cringiest version of a would-be dictator. It's bad enough that they're evil and inept, but they're just like humiliating on top of it. And I know that that gives me some comfort. Jamel said it gave him comfort as well to know that they're play acting in many levels, but it's like a toddler with a handgun, y'all. Like they're totally not capable of handling all of this power that we, the American people, have lent them. Unfortunately, right? If we don't want these incompetent boobs wielding this kind of power, then it is incumbent upon us, the American people, to organize. So I guess if we see images like this, maybe we shouldn't be like, oh God, this is so. What we should say is like, why the fuck are we letting these guys have this kind of power? They clearly cannot handle it. They don't know what they're doing. They are paper tigers in so many ways. They are paper tigers with fucking nuclear codes, right? So for me, when I look at these images, it's embarrassing, but also it should just make us redouble our efforts to organize and to end this madness. This is not who can be governing. These are not the men who should be directing the future of this country. These are not the men who should be wielding the power of the United States government. It's just, yeah. I'm flabbergasted that we've let this go on for a year, that Congress has let this go on for a year. We've got to look at shit like this and say, no fucking way are these people allowed to be in charge. No fucking way are we, the American people, gonna be content with this or settle for this or allow this to continue. I guess ultimately maybe our response should not be embarrassment. It should be organizing. It should be action. So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Because I don't know about you, but not willing to let this go on like this, and not willing to let it continue to get worse. I also, like, low-key don't think that we should be listening to Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer. Like, just hold out for the midterms. We'll just fix it in the midterms and it'll all magically go away. Sort of how we got here in the first place after the Biden years, right? Sort of how we got in this position where the wealthiest nation on earth is run by a cargo cult fascist regime. So what are we going to do? What's your next move? What's our next move as the American people?